Welcome to a bonus episode of the KJ Today Show, where we are bringing you positive vibes with pop culture, people to know, and pets. Susie Albromeit is best known as Pam on Marvel's Jessica Jones. And I was so excited to talk to her when we got done. I couldn't wait to share it with you. She has an inspiring message. She has an amazing new movie coming out. And I'll tell you, we're going to have her back because there was so much about Jessica Jones that we wanted to talk about. And as you'll hear, we just didn't have time for everything that we wanted to say. So please welcome to the KJ Today Show, Susie Albromeit, her new movie, Love and Bloom, out on August 27th.
Hi, how are you?
Oh my gosh, Susie, listen. I am so excited. I am, as a ton of my listeners are, Marvel fans. So to be talking to one of the great women from Marvel's Jessica Jones about this brand new movie that you've got coming out. So let's talk about this. Saturday is a big day for you because your new movie, Love and Bloom, is premiering Saturday, August 27th on the GAC Family Network. Let's get into it. Tell us about it.
Yes, and so it'll also be streaming on HULU as well. So just in case you don't get GAC, just know that you can find it streaming for a while on Hulu. Yeah, I guess I'll be live like on Instagram for I think on tomorrow and Saturday, and so like leading up to Love and Bloom, I'm so excited. I loved it. It was just such a wonderful crew, and Julian Haig, he was on Riverdale, and he's such a stud, and he's so handsome, and he's one of my dearest friends and mates, like for life now. And honestly, it was just the best time. So we'll be live streaming, or we'll be live, talking about it on Instagram. So if you want to also join in on the, if you have any questions and Q&As, you can reach out to me on Instagram. So that's happening, which I'm really excited about. Yeah. So, we're just, you work so hard in a film, and then it suddenly is coming out, and it's always very exciting.
Well, Susie, I love that you were just straightforward, because one of the questions that I had from Lisa, who's listening, is ask her what it was like to work with Julian. And you're like, he's a stud. That was awesome. Right?
He is the cutest. He's so funny. We would just make each other laugh. Literally, we would be filming, and I just could not keep it together. Sometimes the whole time, because filming isn't always the easiest of things. Sometimes you have there's time constraints, there's pressure. Sometimes you don't get the shot that you want. And throughout it all, Julian was my rock. We're so similar. We were just brother and sister, just making each other laugh constantly, and just having the best time, no matter, whatever was happening, we were just having the best time in our own little bubble. And I think that's and so I think you can really tell we have great chemistry, and I talk to him probably probably every few days. He's become a really close friend. So yeah, he's so handsome and cute. He's so studly and funny. It's stupid, ladies. You need to check him out because he's so dreamy.
Well, let me ask, Susie, are the two of you possibly going to work together again? Because I know that you've signed a contract, and we're going to be seeing quite a bit of you on GAC Family Network.
On that, I don't have anything set in stone, but we potentially have a project where he could be coming on board for another project. I mean, it's really up to GAC and what they decide. But if I could have my say in it, I would definitely, just because we have such great chemistry. It's sort of like Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. I mean, that is my hope. Obviously, they're in a league by themselves. But if I could, if that could be a goal, that would be great, to like just continually work with Julie and just be the next like Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. That would be awesome.
Well, Susie, having you on the show means it does mean a lot, not just because of the Marvel fan that I am, but this show is all about positive vibes. And, you know, my goal every day is for the people who are listening, if I can make them smile, if I can bring a little joy, bring a little hope, then I have done my job. And you have you have quite a story. We're listening to you. You are obviously loving life and so excited about the new movie that's coming out. But can you take us back a little bit to, you know, what life was like losing everything? I mean, the Malibu fires really turned things around for you.
It was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And I know that it's an interesting thing. Look, anything... This is the lesson that I learned was one of my best. So for folks who don't know, I had lost everything in a Malibu fire. So I was renting a place with two other friends, and everything went up. Like literally, I was lucky to like wake up because I, you know, saw this impending doom. Literally, like there's no cell service. We were lucky to get out alive. Like it was like literally grab whatever you can and leave kind of deal. Because it was like the fire was about to, like, impending doom was right above us.
Yep.
And so when I lost everything, my best friend at the time, or no, actually my best friend, she had told me, she's like, Susie, you can spend the time wallowing and crying and mourning this, or you can use this. You know, with every like terrible thing that happens, there's always a blessing, like a hidden blessing that can happen. And so I started to, you know, use that. And I started to be like, okay, well, if I can use this in any way and like I can turn this around. So it's like, you know, when I started hearing that all these like great financial people, it's like they found the opportunities when things are going terrible to make a lot of money. Or so it was sort of that mindset of, okay, what can I learn? What can I create? So there were so many amazing things that happened into my life. And so I really like had the faith to listen to that and started being like, all right, how can I wield this? How can I create this into art? How can I turn this, you know, into a financial benefit? How can I, like in every facet of my life, I was like, this is literally the worst thing for me to happen, but obviously God wants to put me in a timeout, and that's okay. And that's exactly what happened. And it was sort of like, just on every level, I think like it became one of the best things to ever happen to me. I mean, that's like a whole longer conversation, probably like that would take like a good half hour just to explain the dynamics of that. But like, I think it's a mindset. And if you start looking for the positive, if you start looking for the flip side, that's like now I know in my life, anytime something terrible happens, there's going to be this like vacuum of energy that happens, and you're going to be able to use that and wield that any way you want. And so if there's always like something terrible, there's going to be a huge amount of energy that you can wield. And it's kind of like a ninja that if you can use that energy, you can turn it and alchemize it into something like so powerful that literally changed my life.
I love
literally,
it.
Here we are.
Here
I literally
we are.
thought it was like never going to work again. I lost everything. I'm $50,000 in debt. Like my life was on every level. It was just horrible. And then it turned around completely because I was like, I'm going to trust this. And it completely did. And now I use that same sort of philosophy where I know something horrible is going to happen. And it's like a manifester. It's like you're able to manifest something so much faster and quicker because of it, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. And I love that term, that ninja. You were a positivity ninja. That's what we all need to do. And I think, I appreciate you sharing your story, because I think a lot of us have had, various reasons throughout the last couple of years with the pandemic is, foundation being shook and things changing and being in places that we don't expect. And, we need to hear from each other that whatever life throws at us, if we can dig into that energy and choose the positive side of it, we can come out and we can come out better. And you sharing that story, I hope today helps someone else who's listening right now go, okay, I'm going to be a positivity ninja. I'm going to turn this around.
I feel like there were a lot of times that I'm crying, but I was still focused on, I had to kind of move through it. So it's like if the pandemic, I know probably a lot of people are like getting married, but I know there's been a lot of breakups over the course of, the pandemic and things changing. And I think like if you can look at it as a blessing, or whatever hardships are happening in your life, that it's preparing you. And I know that sounds so cliche, but like I'm the proof. Like I know that's hard to know, like unless, I really went in depth with my story. I mean, like right before, like I had so much more stuff happen. Like I went through a really terrible breakup. My uncle was murdered. My aunt had died. Like in the span of like 3 months, it was like my great aunt died. Later, my aunt died. My uncle was murdered. And then a month after that, I had a really terrible breakup. A year later, my house burns down. And it was sort of like, well, the sky is falling. When's it going to end? And it wasn't until the fire that I finally surrendered. And once I surrendered and I said, okay, I'm going to use this. You clearly want this for me, God. And how do I and so I had to flow with it. I had to go, okay, I'm going to flow with the river. I'm going to flow where this energy is taking me. So it's kind of like when you're holding on to a relationship that doesn't work, you have to let go. The more you're holding on, the more like God can't give you his person that's meant for you, and so I think it's sort of that analogy that it's like, it's like the more that like when you can immediately let go, then you can let something amazing come into your life, whether it's for work, whether it's for family, whether, it's whatever that is, money-wise. Like there's just so many beautiful opportunities that can come your way. And if you just like let go.
Thank you so much, Susie. I wish we had more time together. You are my people, and it's been an honor talking with you. And I'm so happy to see where you're at.
I'm sorry we didn't get to Jessica Jones. I feel so honored that you love that show. I mean, it was a great show to be a part of.
Well, listen, that just means we got to have you back, Susie, and you've got more movies to come. Love and Bloom is the first one on Saturday. You're welcome back anytime on the KJ Today Show. Thank you so much. Wasn't she awesome? I'm so glad that you took the time to listen. Thank you for being a part of the KJ crew. Remember, you can get your official crew number, kjcrew.com. That's KJKREW.com. And the KJ Today Show, you can watch happen live Wednesday nights at 7, where we're bringing Hollywood to Indianapolis and positive vibes to our community. Remember to subscribe so you can watch. Go to youtube.com/KJ Today.